8 kgs in 4 to 6 weeks. The bullies actually came back to apologize to me. He started writing me letters. Hello, I'm back, this time with a very personal video. Today I'm going to talk about my personal projects. And it's very funny because I've never told anyone, including my boyfriend, about these personal projects. Kind of like a social experiment, except that nobody knows that it's a social experiment because I've been doing it on myself with no disclaimer or like precaution, blah 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 blah. I'm going to share with you 3 of them. My first 3, and I think that's enough for you to know like moral of the story that I realized after I've been doing all these stupid crazy things. So the backstory of the first one was, I remember being like slim / skinny. I was never underweight, but I was very lean when I was 15 going 16. And I remember at that point of time, there was this guy, pubescent guys, right? They just like to tease girls about their weight, about how ugly they look like. I mean, some of them. This stupid guy that I'm not very close to anyway, from the other class, would always come to me and like, haha, you're so fat, blah 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 blah. I can't remember what he was saying because half of the time I wasn't listening. But the main gist is that you're so fat, blah 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 blah, while I'm not. So then suddenly this trigger thought came to my mind. I was like, what if I am fat, you know? I mean, he was already bullshitting that I was fat to like everybody in the level. Might as well I just be fat, right? At that point of time, I was 48 kg and I was 162 cm. Someday, I just started to binge eat because I keep thinking to myself like, maybe I should just get fat. Let's try being fat. Like, what will happen if I'm fat? Will I be able to lose the weight back down to when I was slim? How would it like affect me differently? How would my friends treat me differently? How would like everything, how would I treat everything differently? And I really started to binge eat so much, and it was crazy. I don't know why I was doing that to myself. Now that I look back at it, I would eat till my tummy aches, and I think it's because my stomach is expanding with the amount of food that I put in. I remember eating a whole tub of pineapple tarts and feeling like shit. I remember lying on my parents' bed because I ate so much and I was just like, my stomach is gonna burst and nobody is gonna save me. I'm going to die and I'm not even fat yet. It's crazy because I started off as 48 kg and I binge eat all the way for 1 to 1.5 months to become 56 kg. And it's just crazy. I've gained 8 kgs in 4 to 6 weeks. And I remember being so fat to the point where I was feeling very insecure about myself. I still remember at the point of time it was nearing like semi-finals or finals or something like that, and I would study with my friend every weekend, every Saturday. But I remember there was this time I just woke up and I looked into the mirror and I just thought to myself, I look like an elephant. I don't look like me anymore. Especially when the weight gain was so fast, I felt like I haven't looked into the mirror properly for the first time in these 4 to 6 weeks. And I'm so sorry to those of you who are like above this weight or whatsoever, but this is relative to me when I was 48 kg and I couldn't digest it. So I texted my friend and I was like, hey, you know, I'm not feeling well, I can't go to study with you. And I stopped studying with him for a period of time because I was so insecure about myself. I looked like a fat ass. I remember walking, and to me when I had like sudden weight gain, it's very obvious because I can feel it when I walk, which is super crazy. Let me know if I'm not the only one. But like in between the thighs, it's like here, like the thighs, right? It's damn crazy. I would walk and then I would feel like there is this fats just hugging onto my thighs, and it's just so heavy when I walk up the slope or when I walk down, and my fats jiggle, all these things. Yeah, it was quite bad. And then I stopped going out with my friends almost entirely, but I was just so insecure, and I decided that, you know, let me try if I can cut back down to my original weight. Thankfully, I was able to go back from 56 kg of the same height, and I remember going back to 50, and I just felt like so much more healthier, and it happened so suddenly also. I was brainwashing myself a lot of like, tomorrow I'm gonna look pretty, you know, because maybe like if I keep thinking that I'm a very pretty girl, and then like over time my cells will just develop to tell my brain that I'm a very pretty girl, I'm very slim, I'm very slick. Everything will go back to normal, I'm not gonna be a fat ass anymore. And you know what's the funny thing? Right after I become fat, the guy stopped telling me that I was fat. Like, I mean, okay, this is not related to the story, but it's just an interesting observation. And also, guys stopped liking me for some time after that. They stopped talking to me as much as they would when I was skinnier, or maybe that was just me being insecure because I was so fat I wouldn't talk to anybody. Yeah. That's the first story of my personal project of how I became fat. The second one was how I became emo. That was during a time where the word emo was just introduced to the world, the society, with globalization, haha, and I decided that I'm going to be the first one to be the emo kid on the block. No, I'm kidding. There's a backstory to this, again, and the backstory isn't very nice because I was actually bullied physically for one time in my entire life, but it's stupidly crazy because I still remember the date and the time and where it was. This bullying thing has happened for like super long ago, but somehow it still brings me back sad memories when I talk about this. So if you are bullied, please stop doing it because really it's not nice to do it. The bullies actually came back to apologize to me afterwards, which I find quite interesting. Like, oh, they can say sorry. Yeah, but I mean, I told them that I forgave them, which I think I did forgive them. Whatever, I'm not gonna go into that in this video, but basically I was bullied when I was 14, so I think that was like secondary 2, and then I just didn't had a proper time to heal or like to reflect about how hurt I was, because firstly I didn't tell my parents, I didn't tell my family, I didn't really tell like my friends even what happened. I just thought like, oh, you know what, if I'm emo? Because at that point of time, I was in a way also kind of like afraid to go down for recess or for break time, because I would see them, like the bullies, they are of the same level. I think I was afraid of them, and I just didn't want to have that confrontation, or I just don't want them to like, you know, point and laugh at me, blah 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 blah. So I was thinking, oh, what if I'm emo? Anyway, I'm gonna stay in the classroom during the break time and all of my friends are going down for lunch. So I actually pretended to be emo. I would sleep in the classroom, I would just use my phone, and then for the first few days or the first few weeks, my friends would come and ask me like, hey, are you okay? Like, why don't you go down for recess? And then I'll just be like, nah, I'm not hungry, blah blah blah. I remember I would eat my tables made sandwich. Oh, so funny. And then I would eat his sandwich, and then I would I'll tell him like, hey, tomorrow can you ask your mom to just put all peanut butter? Because he will go down for recess and he wouldn't eat the sandwich. Or maybe he just gave me the sandwich because he knew that I wasn't eating. I can't remember. Okay. Yeah, and then the whole thing just went on for like a few months. And my secondary school ex-table mate come to realize that I was acting emo-ly for some reason. I don't even know why, when his classroom is like one level above mine. And he started writing me letters, which he would write me letters and I would write him back, because anyway I was in a classroom, I got nothing to do and I'm so bored, and I'm just very surprised that he talked to me, because I remember hating him so much when I was in secondary school because he's just like a very nerdy boy. But now I come to like nerdy boy, okay? Maybe it's because of him, I don't know. But we were writing letters, we were exchanging letters, which is very funny because at that point of time we were like secretly exchanging letters. It all started when one day I went to the toilet, came back, and then I realized that there's a letter under my desk, like on my books, and I just look at it. Thankfully he signed off with his name so I know who it is, and we just wrote letters back and forth, which was quite sweet. That went on for quite some time. I think for like 6 months to a year of me acting emo, and I just realized that the more I act emo, the more I would think about stupid, silly thoughts of like hurting myself or like treating myself unfairly. So I decided then I'm gonna stop being emo and start making new friends, which I did by the end of my secondary school life, which is nearing the end of my high school life before we had to take GCE O-levels. Yeah, now that I think of it, it's quite crazy. And the last one, you're gonna like it. What if I become bored? I used to be quite a little vain girl. Hello, Papa. Yeah, I'm gonna shave my head. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. And I called my boyfriend. No, if you shave your head, I'm gonna break up with you.